What are your observations of West Africa?
That okay, Africa is like this, but when you land in Africa, it is incredible. So Ghana is one of the most upcoming countries in West Africa.
Could you share a story of adventure?
And before I could say anything, they just pounced on the bread and the bottle, and they just the bottles were broken, and the packets of bread were they were fighting amongst themselves.
What message do you have for the youth?
As we have a calling, there is something which is meant for us. We have to find it. Otherwise, we will feel I am not good enough. And once we find our calling, then sky is the limit. Because you are best at that. It comes so effortlessly. I come from a space where I felt I am good for nothing. I lost all hope. And then it was like a 360-degree change. If some days mind is not all right, or if some days things are not all right. And being okay with what is, when you practice yoga, breathing, meditation, you become very lucky. You bump into the right people.
Oh.
For no reason whatsoever, good things start happening to you.
We have covered several topics in this podcast. I hope you enjoy the episode till the end. And make sure to subscribe to the channel so we can keep bringing such amazing episodes to you and that you don't miss out. Cheers. Welcome to another episode of Rocklaz. We are going to Ghana today, and joining us is Ankur Bhaiya, who's spent 3 years and more in Ghana and rest of Africa, volunteering, teaching, art of living courses, changing lives. We'll know more about it from him today. Welcome to the show, Ankur Bhai.
Thank you so much for having me and giving your time. And I feel very honored and privileged that I'm able to share my journey, and I feel people can relate to what I have experienced, and it can help them in their journey.
Could you please introduce yourself?
So, my name is Ankur Agarwal, and I was born in West Bengal and started my art of living journey there. Somebody introduced me to art of living, and I started volunteering, and I loved this space of people who are so loving, so caring. So my teachers were an inspiration for me, and that is how I grew up in art of living. Since the last 23-24 years I've been around, and it has been a wonderful experience just being here. And I feel I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky that I was introduced to art of living.
So you're a full-time teacher now.
Yeah.
What did you do before that?
So it is very interesting because the day I completed my graduation, I became full-time.
Oh.
Yes. So I was so passionate about it, and I was so sure that this is what I want to do in life. This is something which felt very close to my heart, and it comes effortlessly to me. I don't have to put any effort to do what I am doing, and I'm so happy doing it. So as a very young school-going boy, I started relating to art of living, to service, to those practices, meeting people from different walks of life. And after graduation, I just became a teacher when I was 21 or 22. So at a young age, I became a teacher, and then I started traveling, teaching, sharing. But I felt there is something. which is very close to my heart, the teaching part, the sharing, as if I'm meant to do this.
Hmm. Wow. You're lucky to have found your calling so soon.
Exactly, that is the word I was looking for. I think I found my calling. And it just happened one after the other, as if someone is guiding me, as if it was pre-decided, something like this. It was very powerful. This feeling was very strong that I want to do something, and it gives me a lot of fulfillment, a lot of satisfaction. It gives me a sense of purpose,
Hmm.
which I felt at a very young age that is very important for me. I prioritize self worth, sense of self worth, the feeling of that I am doing something for the society at large. So I'm just flowing even today. I'm just flowing, taking it one day at a time, and living my dream, living my passion every day. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know what is next. But there's a lot of adventure, thrill, a lot of excitement every day of my life.
Wow. How did you choose to go to Africa and do Seva in Ghana?
So, Gurudev was supposed to travel to Africa in August 2022, and that is how we thought it would be nice if we could travel with Gurudev, and somehow it just happened. And then in November 2022, I went to Nigeria. That was my first official visit to Africa, and I felt very connected to that place. The people, are very warm and welcoming, and I felt as if I have some past connection with this place, and as if coming there was like coming home. So I never felt an alien in Africa, or I never felt out of place. It came to me as something which is effortless. So this is something in my life. I feel that when something comes effortlessly, I just go with the flow. I don't try to analyze too much, and that is how life has been very beautiful, because I know then I don't have to put a lot of pressure on myself on what is right, what is wrong. I feel there is a power which is guiding us, and somehow we have to surrender to that power, and that power is going to take us to where we are meant to go. Isn't this interesting?
Very interesting.
Yeah. So yes,
Put the analytics and the brain aside and
sometimes.
go in the flow. What are your observations of West Africa?
So I think there are different perspectives to it. Before going to Africa, I had a particular perspective. When you watch news, movies, you develop a sense of that, okay, Africa is like this. But when you land in Africa, it is incredible because when you meet people, they are so warm and welcoming, and sometimes they don't have enough, but even then the spirit of giving, their connection with nature, their connection with the society at large is so powerful even today. So that was a wonderful experience, I feel.
So, what was the before and after? Like, what did you expect from Africa, and what was the difference when you actually went there?
Before going, I was a little apprehensive on, will I be able to connect with them? Uh, I don't know how's the situation there. Is it comfortable? Is it conducive to for our the projects which we wanted to take, the social initiatives? But when we went, it was of course challenging, but at the same time it was very easy, because people were very supportive, number one, and number two, we never felt as if we are talking to someone from a different country. we felt we are speaking to someone who is our very own. So, courses, programs in prisons, programs for youth leadership training programs, programs for universities, all of them were very well received. And I'm so grateful that I am an instrument to help them to listen to their stories and see how they can become the best version of themselves.
Please tell us something about the language and culture there in Africa, in West Africa.
So, again, West Africa itself is so huge that after every 100, 200 kilometers, you will see a change in culture, tribes. There are different tribes, different languages, So, there are, one part is the Francophone Africa, which is the French colonies. Previously, they were French colonies, and these countries primarily speak French. So, like Mali, Mauritania, Senegal, Ivory Coast. So, these countries have a little French thing about them, but they have their local languages as well, their local culture, which was very prominent before the colonial masters had come. And then there is the Anglophone, if I can say, the British West Africa, the countries which were colonized by the British. These countries primarily speak English. But of course, languages like Hausa, and in Ghana they speak Ga, Chui. So these languages are still very, are used in day-to-day life, and they take a lot of pride in their language, in their culture. And another interesting part, Tanmay, was I could find a lot of similarities between India and West Africa. Because when I traveled in rural India, I felt this sense of belongingness, this sense of praying to the nature, being with nature, being so close to the nature. People are so simple in rural areas. Even today, they carry that essence of that love, that care and compassion when a guest comes. And I could see that reflecting in West Africa as well when I traveled in rural areas of West Africa. So I started traveling to Sierra Leone, Liberia, Togo, Benin. And so it was very reassuring that we are all connected. We are all one, The human race, the essence of the human race is that love, that feeling of belongingness, care, and being together.
No matter the language, people are welcoming and warm.
Yeah. Irrespective of race, religion, creed, nationality, it doesn't matter. The moment you sit with someone and you strike a conversation, there are more things which are common than things which are not common between you. So that was such a revelation that there are thousands of things which are common between us and just a few things, a handful of things which are not common. Yeah, isn't this so interesting? Because we sometimes think otherwise. We think we are so different. But at another level, if we see from a different perspective, if you give a little context to it, we'll see that we are all so similar at our level. And we are so relatable. All of us have gone through our ups and downs in life. We have had breakdowns. We have seen relationships breaking. So, and when I met young people in Africa, I could see the same issues, the same challenges which young people face in India. So it was very easy for me, as if I could just flow effortlessly.
What do you think are the biggest challenges and problems there in Ghana and West Africa?
So I think there are two ways to look at it. If you travel through Africa, of course, the challenges of poverty will come right on your face, because it is so evident. Lack of basic facilities like education, healthcare. But I feel one of the biggest challenges is the mindset. You know,
What is
when
the mindset there?
the mindset, I feel, because of the colonial rule, sometimes people feel that they are not good enough.
Hmm.
Yeah, they are still somehow in a very subtle level dependent on the West and take pride in the West,
Hmm.
right? But when Africa, and this is changing now, yeah, now there's a huge change where an African feels, takes pride in its own culture, language, the whole ethos, the heritage, which is so rich. And they say Africa is the cradle of humanity. So I think now this generation is realizing
Hmm.
that we have the best things, and we have the highest wisdom in our own land.
Mhm.
They are the highest producers of natural resources in the world, and the youngest population in the world. So
Hmm.
I feel sometimes that the time for Africa has come,
Hmm.
finally, and Africa will find its rightful place
Hmm.
in the world. It's high time Africa gets that rightful respect from the whole world, and Africans are going to shine all over the world.
Wow. What are some unique things? What are some unique things about Ghana that you observed?
So, when we went around Ghana, it is so beautiful because the landscape of Ghana and the geography of Ghana is amazing. It has the coastal areas, it has the hilly areas, the riverside, the forests. So, although it's a small country, but geographically it is so rich in flora and fauna.
Hmm.
So that is something which was wonderful. And the second was the natural resources. It is so rich in natural resources. These countries in West Africa, it is amazing. And third is the people. The people come from different tribes and have different languages, and it is amazing how they developed those languages, those different cultures, their paintings, their carvings on the wood carvings, and different art forms coupled with music and dance,
Hmm.
and this essence of life that every moment is a celebration.
Hmm.
Is I felt something which is so unique to Africa.
Hmm.
They celebrate everything. They celebrate life, they celebrate every moment, they celebrate birth, they celebrate death.
Death.
And that is something which gave me so much that feeling of fullness. That
Hmm.
wow, I have, as if I've come home.
Hmm.
It is like a land of celebrations.
Hmm.
And interestingly, even if they don't have enough, they celebrate everything.
Hmm.
Yeah, they would be the resources would not be sometimes enough, but whatever resources they have, they will celebrate.
Hmm. I was studying West African music when I was learning djembe, which is right there.
Yes.
So the rhythms there and the songs, they were for every kind of celebration. From, as you said, birth, death, also an initiation rhythm. When somebody becomes a teenager, he's initiated into the crowd. They have a big function for that. So very celebrating country. Um, and I had also seen this movie called The Boy Windmill. It was related
Okay.
The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, something like that. So he was talking about culture, and he made a windmill out of his father's cycle and some other tools there. Got a scrap battery, which was found in a scrap, and then he needed a some machine that converts the spin into electricity. So he did some jugaad for that, So basically, the movie was showing how education can boost development there, or a bit of support, or if somebody is able to just think a bit outside the box, they can have like empowering them with a bit of education can grow the whole community.
I totally agree with you. If we can give a level playing field, if we can give a platform today in Africa with good education at primary, secondary, and higher level universities in terms of education and skill development,
Mm.
if we can give them skills and give them a platform on AI, computers, then I feel they will really shine. And the best of what they have will come out to the world.
Mhm.
Yeah, so, yes, sometimes I feel this is very important. We need to give them a platform, and we need to get good infrastructure in terms of technology.
We go there and think they are poor and there's a lot of poverty. But what do they think about themselves?
I felt in
Because a fish doesn't realize it's in water. So what does it think of?
yeah. Everything is so relative,
Mm.
isn't it? Rich and poor is so relative and has different meanings in different contexts. So people in rural areas, sometimes tribals, they don't even have this concept of rich and poor,
Mm.
because fortunately they don't even realize,
Mm.
and they are just enjoying their life as if they have everything with a feeling of abundance.
Mm.
In cities, of course, people start comparing themselves with each other, and they feel, oh, I don't have enough.
Mm.
Yeah. So of course, there are different sections of the society which feel in different ways. But more or less, I feel people feel I have enough, especially in the rural and tribal areas,
Mhm.
and they enjoy life irrespective of their social status or.
How is art of living in West Africa and particularly Ghana? What projects are being done by art of living there?
So, art of living is so well received in West Africa. There was this politician who once told me that this is the need of the hour. Hmm? And art of living brings that holistic change, not just at a physical, mental, and emotional level, but also the change of mindset. This sense of taking responsibility for myself, for my family, for the society is much needed in West Africa. So, what we have started with is prison skill centers. So, the one which we recently started was a welding center where students would come and learn weldings. And another one was in a prison, another welding center where we did welding center for the prisoners. Hmm. So these prisoners would soon be free.
Mm.
And what would they do once they go to the society? How do they merge, or how do they get into the mainstream world? Through skill training when they are in prisons. That was the idea. And once they go into the world, they can get jobs because they are skilled laborers. So this will bring a very big change.
Mm.
And then we are doing programs for women empowerment, women menstrual health and hygiene. So yeah, these are the two programs which are going and creating a very big impact. Yeah, because once a human being is skilled, he can earn his own bread.
Mhm.
They say that you can feed someone for a couple of days, for a week, for a month, but if you teach them how to fish, then they can earn for themselves, and that is the essence of skill centers, of starting up the skill centers.
So it's not just meditation, breath, and workshops, but also actual skills which they can make money with.
So, of course, the art of living's forte is the breathing techniques which we teach, the physical yoga, the meditations, but coupled with skill training, coupled with leadership training for young people, coupled with women empowerment. So this is a more integrated approach which Art of Living follows, the modules which Art of Living follows in West Africa.
Can you share some stories of transformation that you have witnessed?
Yes. So in Ghana, there are a lot of young people from the rural areas who are coming to the city, and there are these group of young people whom we are training, and I could find a total transformation in them after just 1 week of our youth leadership training. It was incredible because they have that sense of that I want to learn and I want to do something. Because these days they see a lot of reels in Instagram and all. So they are very inspired. They are looking for a platform. So when they come to Art of Living, they get that platform. Their voice is heard. Their stories are heard. And they get that unconditional love and non-judgmental listening. When they get that platform, they start living life to the fullest. And they start becoming an asset for their family, for the society as a whole, because they start feeling that now I'm responsible for the society. I have to make things happen. Change has to begin from me. So there was this group of young people. One of them is Selassie. He's doing such wonderful work in the community. Now when I'm going back, he wants to become an Art of Living teacher, and he says, I want to bring transformation to the young people of Ghana. So we are essentially creating social leaders. Leaders who can go back to their communities after the training and become agents of change. That is the whole idea.
Can you share a conversation that you still remember with the locals there, and that story just might have hit you or something like that?
So once I was conducting a session, and suddenly somebody knocked on the door, and he was a blind man, and he came from the Volta region, which is about 4 to 5 hours. So he must have traveled, I think, more than 5 hours to come to my place. And somehow he found about Art of Living, and he came to our center. And he said, I want to speak to you. Now what happened, he said that he has been watching Gurudev on YouTube. And he's so inspired. He shared that Gurudev resonates with the spirit of Africa. And Gurudev's words are so relatable for Africa. And that was such a powerful statement. He was a teacher in a school in Volta region, and being blind did not stop him from learning, from watching YouTube videos. So he had done all the meditations by Gurudev on YouTube. He had listened to all of Gurudev's wisdom in the last few years. And he just wanted to share that I want to meet Gurudev and I want to thank him for being there, for sharing this invaluable wisdom. And for me, this was, I think, the most beautiful moment. Yeah. I felt Gurudev is already there in every household in Africa, through his videos, through his messages, through his meditations, through online programs. And Guruji, I feel Gurudev is in Africa, we need Gurudev. That is what I feel. Yeah. We need Gurudev's wisdom in every single country, all the 54 countries of Africa.
Wow. It's great to hear that it's reaching more quickly and impacting even through the internet and reels, because everything good is actually shared and received. What are some miracle stories, or as guru stories we call? Would you like to share a couple of them?
So I was in Ghana and I drove down to Togo, which is a neighboring country, and I was sitting in my hotel and I was having my breakfast, and I bumped into this person. He's from India, and he asked me, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm from Art of Living." And before this, I was looking for a connect for this country called Burkina Faso, and how to reach to this country. And I was reading about this country. It is very interesting because this country has gone through lots of ups and downs in the last few decades. And interestingly, this person on the breakfast table, he shares that I am working in Burkina Faso. I'm from India, but I'm working in Burkina Faso, and I was searching for art of living programs, and I would like to set up something in Burkina Faso. And I was amazed that how the universe works. You know, how you bump into the right people, and whenever you want something, it just happens, right? How the guru principle works. It is incredible. And then he went back to Burkina Faso, and we conducted so many online programs for embassies, for the locals in Burkina Faso. And last week he came down to Ashram to meet Gurudev and to share his story, how he met me. And that I felt was a wonderful experience for me. Yeah, like a guru story, as we say.
Wow. I searched for a couple of fun facts about Ghana. It turns out it's highest exporter of cocoa, one of the highest exporter of gold in Africa, and it's a growing hub for volunteering.
Yes.
And they have some fancy coffins that they put the deceased persons. They make it as per the fantasies of the deceased person.
Right.
And they have launched their own satellite in 2017.
So Africa is one of the fastest growing countries in West Africa, and also I would say one of the most developed countries in Ghana. Sorry.
Ah.
Yeah. So Ghana is one of the most upcoming countries in West Africa. Yeah. And as far as coffins, they celebrate death in a very big way. The funeral is a celebration which goes on for some period of time, and the community, the family, everyone comes in. So it's very interesting.
Have you learned any local languages?
I have tried Chui.
Chui.
Yeah, which is a local language, and I want to pick up a little bit of French, which is of course a European language, but very common, and also Hausa, but I'm not fluent, or I don't remember. Maybe when I go back, I have to take it seriously. And
So can you share a couple of lines in the local language?
no, I don't have
Okay.
any. I have just started picking up when
Words,
they speak.
ah.
Yeah, when they speak, and then start making sense now.
So what has been your motivation in all the seva activities, service you do? What is your driving force?
I feel somewhere I relate to them, and my teachers really worked very hard on me, I felt, and mentored me to make me the best version of myself. And I feel that is my motivation. I feel every individual in this world, if given a platform, if given the right environment, can really do so much, not for just himself or herself, but others in the society. So that really drives me. Whenever I meet someone, whenever I meet an individual or a community, I feel there is so much potential. They can do so much for the society.
Wow.
Rather than complaining, they can work for themselves and not just earn for themselves, but become an asset for their family, their society, and their country.
Wow.
Isn't this incredible? That we, each one of us, have so much potential.
Yeah, I mean, I felt that when I first had I felt the same thing when I had the first interaction with you. You, with such an open mind and heart, you were listening to me and trying to figure out how I can reach my full potential. So that was really wonderful, even just to discuss and talk with you. And the way you were just giving, it felt so good.
I feel now it comes effortlessly to me. Whenever I meet someone in a flight, or I have this tendency of asking, how are you? What is your story? It gives me some kind of inspiration when I listen to people's stories. It is so similar, yet each story is so unique and different. And after listening to the story, I feel each individual is a book. It is incredible and it is so precious. It is invaluable. But sometimes we feel down, we feel depressed, or we feel I'm not good enough, and we become self-critical. And that is where I feel I'm very passionate about sharing that you are very special, you are very precious, and you have an impact in society. Although people might feel that, oh, I am not good enough, but every individual can be so impactful. It is amazing. And I have seen those transforming stories. I have listened, I have heard, and I have experienced individuals who felt they were good for nothing, and today they are leaders in communities. And that is my mission in life.
To create leaders.
To create leaders, social leaders, who can become catalysts for the society, who can become change makers.
Wow.
What do you say?
Absolutely.
Yes, and that drives me. Like you asked, what is your motivation? I feel every morning when I wake up, this is my motivation. This is my thing, that I have to reach out to more people. People are waiting to find and explore themselves, to get the best out of themselves.
Wow. Can you share any other story that you have seen before and after the transformation that you have seen in the people?
In Nigeria, when I was conducting programs, there was this lady who had come for the program, and in just 3 days, she used to come with her young babies and young children, and in just 3 days, she shared how her life completely got transformed. She said, I was just existing. Life was just a battle every day, just waking up, going through the challenges of the day and just crashing into the bed. But now I feel I am alive again. I have started living. I have started enjoying life. I had become so mechanical otherwise. I was just like a stone. But now, art of living has induced life into me. And that was such a powerful experience she shared.
Wow. Making somebody feel alive is such a great thing to do. I mean, you are giving them a purpose. It's more than just living like a vegetable. They are actually... You feel that sense of happiness and drive when you're being useful, and
isn't it? You feel that sense of fulfillment, and you feel that you are of some use. Your life is is of some use to the society. That gives you a sense of self-worth, and it is so fulfilling. And I don't know, words will fall short. You feel so grateful that the universe is giving you an opportunity to do something for the society, for people. And I am so indebted to Gurudev for having me here, for making me an instrument, for making me an art of living teacher. And it is so beautiful. I could not have asked for anything more. I feel so content that I am able to do this. I don't think there is anything better which I can do.
What are your favorite learnings from Gurudev?
Something which has really impacted my life is a feeling of it is all right if I'm going through ups and downs. If some days mind is not all right, or if some days things are not all right, and being okay with what is something which has really transformed my life, which Gurudev has brought into my life. Because this was something very painful for me. That why am I going through so much in life? Why did this happen to me? Why me? Yeah, and why these challenges? But now, in these all ups and downs, I can see myself more centered, more relaxed. And I think this is a wealth which I have received from Gurudev, and it is invaluable. When you know that the ups and downs of life is not touching you so much, you don't get thrown off balance.
Wow. Has there been a story of adventure in Africa? Could you share a story of adventure?
I don't know if it is adventure, but I was conducting a program in Nigeria, and it was in a garage, and we were conducting Bhastrika, and I was very new to Africa. So the host had organized some bread and water bottles, juice, which we would give out to them after the course. So I was conducting the course, and the host brought the bread and the bottles and kept behind me, and I could not see the bread and all. Now they just stopped following the instructions as soon as they saw the bread and bottles of water and all. And I felt, what is wrong? I mean, why are they not looking at me? And before I could say anything, they just pounced on the bread and the bottle, and they just the bottles were broken, and the packets of bread were they were fighting amongst themselves, and none of them could have even a single loaf of bread or water. And then later I realized that most of them don't get even one meal a day in that area of Nigeria. And for them, food, when they see food, they lose all control. And after 10-15 minutes, they were all bruised. Broken bottles were lying on the floor, and the loaves of bread, the packets of bread were just, I mean, they could not even eat them because they were fighting over it. So this gave me a different perspective. I had never seen this before. And I started appreciating the privilege which we have had as children, which we take for granted. And we are never grateful for what we have received because we feel that this is normal. But that was not normal. What we feel is normal is something very precious for some people somewhere in the world. Isn't it?
Absolutely. Another point to be grateful about what we have.
Even basic things like food, shelter, we should be so grateful. I realized I have been so privileged.
Somebody who is agitating or is not satisfied in life should go to Africa, right?
Yes. I feel so because it gives you a lot of context to life. Hmm? You realize that you have received much more. Yes. I feel each one of us should visit Africa, and not just as a tourist, but just go there and become one with them. Stay with them, eat with them, become a part of them. That is when you get the real essence, the real juice of Africa.
How do they look towards life? What is the ambition of people in West Africa or Ghana?
So in cities, of course, young people want to go to the West. They want to settle in Europe and America for a better lifestyle, for a better job, give better facilities to their family, isn't it? That is what an individual wants. So that is their aspiration, to somehow get a visa, yeah, to London or Europe or America, and then settle there. This is fast growing in urban areas, amongst urban youth.
And what about the rurals?
Again, in rural, people who are not aware are very satisfied. They say that ignorance is bliss. So they don't know what is what is like outside their village, how it is like the cities. They are so happy and they have their own things to do, and they do a lot of handcrafts, make things, and they grow a lot of agriculture, and they are very satisfied with that is their aspiration, that is their ambition, and they will be so happy. When you go there, you will see they are so satisfied, so happy.
And what kind of food is common in West Africa?
Of course, they have green vegetables, green leaf, different kinds of vegetables which they grow, along with rice, casawa, and non-vegetarian, which is beef and chicken, mutton.
What is casawa?
Casawa, I'm not too sure. I have to look it up on Google.
Because in our previous podcast episodes of Africa, one thing I noticed which is common is it's like a dough kind of thing, which is white in color, and
yes,
is it the same
it's
thing?
similar to that.
Yeah. There's something like how we have chapati everywhere, different kind of chapatis in India. In Africa, they have these white dough kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to have that. What message do you have for the youth in Africa or India?
My experience as a youth myself was that I have a lot of potential. And I feel for every youth, when they realize that they have so much potential and they can do so much, not just for themselves, but for the society, for this planet, for their own country. When you realize this, that is when you really start living. And that is my story, I feel. I come from a space where I felt I am good for nothing. I lost all hope. And then it was like a 360-degree change. When I came to Art of Living, I realized that is not true. I have so much to give back, and I have so much to do. That is so beautiful.
So can you elaborate more on where you are coming from? Tell us a bit more in detail about how did you lose hope, or what were you doing then?
So I come from a business family, and when I was in school, and when teachers used to ask, what would you like to become? Or How do you see yourself 10 years down the line? I used to feel, I don't know. And I felt, I don't know what I want to become. And somewhere down the line, I lost all my confidence because I felt I am not good enough and I am not able to fit in where people or students, sorry, want to become um, doctors, engineers. I could not see myself anywhere in this whole scheme of things, and which made me feel that I am I am not able to fit in this society. I am good for nothing, and I will not be able to do anything. I don't know. This thought just pulled all my energy, sucked all my energy, and this stayed for a few years. So much so that I felt that I should just end my life because I am being a liability for my parents, for family, society. People are doing such good work. Students, my friends are doing such so many things. They have so many aspirations, and I am not able to relate to any of them. So where should I go? What should I do? This world is not for me. I think I'm at the wrong place. I'm born at the wrong planet. So these thoughts started coming, and this, I think, just made me feel so weak and totally broken and shattered. And then Art of Living came. And the first thing which my teachers said that I am there with you. And you are very good. And first time I felt so much love. I felt that sense of appreciation, acknowledgement. And I started serving. I started going with them to the slum areas, slums and rural areas, and started to do something for people. And I felt, yes, this is for me. This is something which I can relate to. And this is what I would like to do for the rest of my life. So like you said in the beginning, that each one of us we have a calling. There is something which is meant for us. We have to find it. Otherwise we will feel I am not good enough. And once we find our calling, then sky is the limit. Because you are best at that. It comes so effortlessly to you.
So what is the best way to find a calling?
I feel to just be yourself. When you are with yourself, when you meditate, when you relax, it comes to you. It naturally comes to you. Yes. When you are settled. That's why these breathing techniques and meditation is so powerful. It is non-negotiable, I feel. It introduces you to yourself. It develops that strong relationship and bond with yourself. And then you realize what you are good at. Isn't this amazing? How breathing and meditation can help you choose a career, can help you choose what you are good at. And I also feel that when you practice yoga, breathing, meditation, you become very lucky. You bump into the right people. For no reason whatsoever, good things start happening to you. And when you have a master in your life, and this is my personal experience, first-hand experience, everything just falls into place. We may go through ups and downs, but in the bigger scheme of things, everything is just laid down for you and you have to just walk. It is so beautiful. We are so fortunate that we have a master. It is like a manual of life which we have been given, and we have to just follow the path.
Amazing. So people who want to go to Africa, what is the best way they can be useful for the people there? What is the highest demand or current demand there?
At one side I would say just jump into it. Africa is not something which you can plan for. Just go. And that is what happened with me. For me, there was no orientation, no planning. I just landed in Africa and I found my way. And that is the best way to explore Africa. What do you say?
Of course.
Yeah?
Adventure.
Yeah. No concepts. Go just with an open mind, with a blank slate, and land. And you will find yourself in Africa.
Wow. Amazing. Anything else you would like to add?
That's it. I think I feel I'm very fortunate that I'm able to serve in Africa. I'm able to go there from India. I got this opportunity to travel, to be there with them. The secret is that if there's one person who has benefited, it is me. I think it was meant to be for my growth, for my evolution. It gave me so much context and perspective to life. I started appreciating small joys of life. I started appreciating time spent with loved ones. I started appreciating resources, food. The value of life became so much more for me. Value of this very moment when I am giving this podcast and I am with you and we are spending this time. It is so valuable. I started realizing this, that every moment is so valuable. Because we are not here forever. And this revelation, theoretically I knew this, but this realization came in Africa. I started appreciating every single thing in life. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that I'm able to share this, Sometimes it is there, but when there is a mic and someone is asking a question, it comes out in words. Otherwise, I feel this all the time. But when it comes out, when I can express myself in words, I'm listening to it. So it is making me more established in these experiences. So I feel podcasts are a very good way for individuals to know themselves also. Because when you say it aloud, you are also listening. And then it becomes more, what do you say? It becomes stronger. Yeah. Right now I feel so good.
Wow. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah. So I'm so grateful to you. I don't know, I have rarely been on this kind of a setup, and I was not prepared. But since you called me, and I thought, let us just give it a shot. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Tanmay, and wish you the best in life. Bless you.
Thank you so much. So we had an episode of Switzerland. So that guy found his purpose in life on the podcast.
पर मुझे अभी लग रहा था एकदम ऐसा बहुत अलग. अमेजिंग है ये पॉडकास्ट. यू विल ट्रांसफॉर्म लाइफ सो थ्रू पॉडकास्ट. आपको बहुत अभी यू हैव एस्ट्रोलॉजिकली भी हर तरह से आपको बहुत अच्छा टाइम आ रहा है, हर तरह से. एंड यू आर गोइंग टू डू वेरी गुड. स्काई इज द लिमिट. अपने आप को रोकना नहीं. जस्ट गो ऑल आउट.
Yeah, I want to.
एकदम just you have nothing to lose. Just fly.
Yeah. Feeling stuck is the most biggest issue.
Feeling stuck is a state of the mind. You have to flip it. वो एक मन ने ऐसे इल्यूजन बना रखा है कि आई एम स्टक. ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं स्टक बोल के. मेरे को भी ऐसा लगता दैट आई एम स्टक. उसका कोई रियलिटी नहीं होता. वो एक हवा में मन की बस सोच है, ख्याली पुलाव है।
Stuck as in किया ट्राई, अपन इतना एफर्ट्स लेते हैं बट डजंट वर्क आउट, नॉट गेटिंग एज रिजल्ट्स, या कहाँ जा रहे हैं, which direction,
तो
should we start something
रिजल्ट्स
else?
को टाइम से बाउंड नहीं करो, कब रिजल्ट्स आएगा पता नहीं, और जब आएगा एकदम छप्पड़ फाड़ के आएगा। आप अपना एफर्ट करते रहो, कोई बात नहीं, रिजल्ट नहीं आ रहा है तो आप किसी की भी बुक पढ़ो, किसी का भी स्टोरी पढ़ो। सबका ये पॉइंट आया था लाइफ में, जब लगा इतना मेहनत कर रहे हैं रिजल्ट।
Thank you for watching this podcast till the end. Please let us know in the comments what more topics and guests would you like to see in future episodes.